Is it on?
Mm-hmm.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most interesting topics in the world. Water. Now hear me out. That's obviously a joke, but the importance of our planet's water cycle is so often underrated. Think of how this substance affects the world. Think of how it sustains life in every biological and geological process. Geologists are besides themselves for the new discovery of ice on the moon. Why is that? While its properties are outstanding, to us, it's in a limited supply. And over time, we've seen pollution growing in almost all water sources in the world. But to see how the water cycle is affected by human-made pollutants, scientists have not just seen a growing amount of industrial wastes and plastic debris in waters, but are also finding it affects natural pollutants in the bio-geo-water cycle. We know there are vast amounts of toxic chemicals being spilled during storm surges, and plastic debris is washing up on coastlines in far greater quantities than ever before. For example, after Hurricane Katrina, numerous industrial companies like DuPont and Murphy's oil refineries found themselves being reported on by the New York Times and NPR for their major environmental and human health disasters caused by the spills of toxic materials like oil. These substances, despite community efforts by residents and companies and governments, these materials are still persistent in that environment. They recede into floodwaters from rivers and lakes and oceans, as well as drain through soils to groundwater resources. And along with chemical spills, the growing plastic problem is also becoming pervasive in the water cycle. The journal Science of the Total Environment encourages pursuing further studies of plastic pollutants, as there will be an increase in both the intensity and frequency of cyclones in the future due to global warming, and a tremendous increase of marine debris. Their study suggests hurricanes are prominent in incorporating microplastics within aquatic and coastline environments. And even as studies like these are rare, government officials and scientists are finding plastics are degrading into smaller and smaller parts and becoming yet another pollutant that in the water cycle that is unsafe to humans and other wildlife across the world. But along with surface water, we don't often realize the water cycle includes the atmosphere. And this part is seeing increased changes to the natural circulation of water as well. According to the American Meteorological Society, scientists are newly discovering the role of rainforests, especially the Amazon rainforest, in atmospheric waters and vapors. They are finding that rain brings down natural ozone particulates that chemically react with the surface of the Earth. However, the increase of atmospheric pollutants caused by industrial and residential wastes are breaking down the ozone layer, and therefore the reaction between the atmosphere and the surface is slowing. Scientists are unsure of the full impact of this process on Earth, but as the Amazon falls to fires and is cut down for agricultural and industrial use, we know this process too will cease to exist. Nature is complex, and it's more interconnected than we give it credit for. See, water is important. If we allow its system to collapse, our world environment will change as we know it. It's important to understand how we are affecting all aspects of the environment as we move forward into the future. Humans will have to adapt to these rising concerns and work on more sustainable solutions for a functioning society. I encourage you to learn more about this precious resource and how we use it as a society. Think, how can you work to conserve water and help your community prevent water pollution. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have a great and sustainable day. Thanks.